And we're talking horses. We move over to race number 2, which is the Guineas. The 2000 Guineas, sponsored by Altai Motors. Looks an interesting race. You've got a few coming up against each other again, including the first 3 in the trial.
Yes.
You've got a few coming over from the UK. One of Mike de Kock's horses has come over from the UK, Gelata, hasn't been out seen yet. You've got a couple of new Godolphins from Australia. It looks a particularly good race. I mean, the other one from Godolphin, from Mike de Kock from the UK, MEYDAN, only rated 85, but Sumo's chosen it.
Yes.
Unless Jim Crowley's riding for Henrietta Fay.
I would say that he doesn't actually normally ride for that horse, so it's just maybe that MEYDAN's been shown a bit.
Interesting one in here is Asmar, Fezinash. It's run on twice to finish. It keeps missing its break and then running on at the end. And if you want a jockey, you can come late. Richard Hughes is one you'd put on board.
Yeah. I saw him this morning. Looked like a right mean, lean machine. So
he always does.
So I think he's really looking forward. He was looking forward to riding Krypton Factor later in the meeting,
and then got drawn 14.
14 yeah.
Emirates Flyer and Safety Check have come out of the blue and into the green. So it's an interesting race. I'll listen to your thoughts before I give mine.
Well, if we go by that race, let's mention that race, the trial really, wasn't it? The Emirates Flyer beat Safety Check and My Catch. They all ran well. Now they've lost their blue colours, the first 2. It makes you wonder because they've got these 2 Australian horses.
Can I ask you, out of those 3, which one caught your eye the most?
My Catch in third place, to be honest with you. Doug Watson's horse, who probably will improve actually. So watch out for that one.
And what most people seem to have missed is he was carrying a kilo extra that day,
well, certainly,
and drawn very wide for a horse that wants to lead.
Now we've gone looking at the blue jackets, the Australian horses who've got to carry 4.5 kilos extra, but they do look very interesting, don't they? Especially Long John, Michael Barcelona, Charlie Appleby, a Grade 1 winner in Caulfield, Kieran McElroy.
It'd be nice if it was a silver horse.
Long John Silver, Pax in Media as well. He's a Group 3 winner and a listed winner, but and then come out and won a Group 2 in Australia. So again, Kieran McElroy, they're probably on the phone there. Which one's the best? And he probably went and told them which one was the best. I must admit, Long John for me is the form I would follow anywhere in a race like this, being it's Grade 1, Group 1 stuff.
He has got a Group 1 victory to his name. He is carrying, obviously, extra weight being a South American horse. I mean, the jockeys are riding for the stables, so you can't say much on the jockeys. Sylvester's riding for Side, which is normal. Miguel's riding for Charlie Appleby, which is normal.
They both picked these Southern Hemisphere horses with the weight difference, and it's interesting they've gone that way.
I'm still not convinced they get to pick.
Well, if I was a jockey, I would probably try one of these horses from Australia. They've really proved that they're sending good horses. Over the last 2 seasons, they've sent really good horses over.
Have they though? I mean, over the last 2 seasons, which horses have come here and actually performed?
Do you remember the first year? It was a bit of a failure, wasn't it? They got the wrong horses. They sent over. A couple of years, but a year afterwards, they changed it around a bit. So.
I can't remember. Complicated. Was it Complicated in the sprint? Came here last year and won, but then disappeared off the scene.
But they've got the win, haven't they? So this for me, these horses are pretty decent.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not convinced the Australian form has held up that well here. Plus the extra weight.
But they're going to be a little bit older, aren't they? So they should be carrying the.
Same as the South African horses, the Southern Hemisphere. But I'm not convinced. You normally would go with the older horses this time of year. Mike de Kock normally has a couple from South Africa that you'd like, but he hasn't. All these horses are from the UK this year.
That's right,
apart from Journeyman, who you'd kind of put as his 3rd pick. It's one of those tough races. I mean, My Catch caught my eye last time. They ran a great race, carrying the kilo, having to give up weight, or give up ground, trying to get the lead. I did chat to Doug this morning, not 100% convinced he'll stand a mile. So,
could be the fact, yeah.
But if he does, he'd be very close. But having just said the Australian horses' form haven't held up, I'm not convinced about Emirates Flyer. I don't think it would have beat My Catch off level weights.
Yeah.
I'm not convinced about Safety Check. No. Although if I'm going to go between Safety Check and Emirates Flyer, I'd probably go Safety Check.
Yeah, because he was staying on.
He was staying on at the end, yeah. But I'm like you, I like Long John.
We know he stays.
He'll definitely stay. He'll stay every inch of it.
He didn't run brilliantly over 2,000 metres, but at least he only got beat 6 3/4 lengths.
And a 3-year-old running over that trip. He'd have been. He had just turned 3, wouldn't he?
Certainly.
You know, as a 3-year-old, he's a Group 1 winner. He's got Group 3 form.
Yeah.
He's got listed form. But you know, when you've got a Group 1 win over this trip, it just makes you a little bit. And there's no penalties, no Group 1 penalty, which, you know. So, Long John.
Long John for me.
Okay, so race number 2, we are both going to go for Long John.